in a diary, they operated on my dear husband. We don't know. What does she mean? But they probably made an amputation. They took his arm off. Because that was the only medicine they had against sepsis back then. This was way before penicillin was invented. So they just cut off his arm and hoped for the best. But the best didn't happen. Guided tours where no one has been here before. So returning visitors, that's very common here. We're happy about that. But you're all welcome, of course. Now, if you haven't been here, this place is, well, it might be a disappointment. Because if you were expecting a Swedish castle, you're in the wrong place. This is a British castle, both outside and inside. We have absolutely nothing typical Swedish here.
Yeah. May I know what this is exactly?
Huh?
May I know what exactly this is?
It's marzipan cigars
Okay.
with
Cigars.
chocolate around.
Can I taste?
Yes.
Chocolate. Do you know something else? No. Bacon chocolate.
Vill du göra det? Ja, vi väntar lite med detta.
Oh.
Så var
ये तो बना chocolate तो. Now chocolate.
Is this handmade or you made this?
Wow. Super
It's really beautiful.
design.
What is the price for this?
475.
Don't. We should not think it is chocolate because we already saw there.
Did you make this?
Yes.
Yeah,
Super.
it's nice.
Bagus ini. Oh, asli. Sahabat.
Sample kan.
Kenapa ya? Oh, kopi wes. Komor saya bagus. Itu kopi.
Kiman na yung magkampi labas?
195 mark. Nama sen. মই ভাগি থাকিব পাৰিবা এটা দুটা নিব পাৰিবা ভালকৈ পেক কৰি দিম Bukan nih. Desain tuh boleh. Dalam gimana? Mana? Itu tuh unik ya sih? Wow. Cute kasih bro. Vietnam 2000 টাকা এইটো কি আছে চোৱা অ' তোলে তোমাৰ ভাল হ'ব এতিয়া হেৰি ৰ'ব এক্সমাছ স্প্ৰিট লগাব কাৰণে কোন এইটো
Och sen så tar jag också vad fan var det nu? Goda för höjda. Känner du inte det? Jo.
Okay.
Clove and dandelion
Okay.
and many other
Oh.
flowers.
And
And here's from the autumn harvest,
oh.
forest, and garden with some heather.
Yeah. Different flavor, right?
Titta. Varsågod och smaka.
Poison. কিন্তু ৱাইনে হয় চাগে ন
Glad হয় glad.
এলকহলিকেই হয়
Alkohol হয় তোমাৰ হেৰি বনাই সিহঁতে এইটো মানে বেলেগ বেলেগ কিবা ফ্ৰুটছ দি পেলাই বনায়
गिर गया
Vill ni smaka?
Which one?
Björksavsglögg. Björksavsglögg. This is Berkshire. It's a little bit hot. Björksavsglögg. Varsågoda. Vill ni smaka? Köpa. Ja. Ett sånt påse. Ja, tack.
টেষ্ট কৰিলা নেকি টেষ্ট কৰিলা
নাই কৰা
হয় বেয়া লগা নাই কিন্তু
Do you have beehives?
Yes, we have, I think, 5 or 6. And we do grow this.
জানো কি হয়
মিঠা দেখা
মিঠা
মিঠাটো অকণমান এইটা বাচনটো খাই জ্বলা লাগিল
কাচনি বেয়া লগা নাই কিন্তু
Det är grovsött och det blir för sött.
বেয়া খাই তোমরা
Nej, inte här i alla fall.
কি হয়
Den är grov och söt, grov och stark. Jag tror grov och stark är... Gillar du när det är sött?
এইটো ভাল লাগিছে এইটো লিমন কেৰামেল লিমন
লেমন
Men den är ju kanske...
আন্ধা একোৱে বেটা তাতে বি জুই আছে ভাই একচুৱেলি এনেকুৱা এটা ঘৰ হ'ব লাগে থাকিবলৈ হয়নে ধুনীয়াকৈ খাই খাই ধুনীয়াকৈ এক্সিপ খাই খাই বহি এখনতে আলু পিটিকা
মোৰ কিন্তু ইয়াতে কিন্তু অলপ একো ফিল এটা হৈছে
অঁ একচুৱেলি আগৰ দিনত চাগে এনেকুৱাই আছিলে আজিকালি হিটিং চিষ্টেম আছে
কিয় মোৰ মালিকৰ পৰা এইটো এনেকুৱা
এনেকুৱা নেকি সেইটোতো তুমি বিন্দাছ তুমি আলু পোৰা বিলাহী পোৰা বেঙেনা পোৰা ধুনীয়া গৰম আছে বে এইটো গৰম হৈ আছে নি
গৰম নাই হোৱা ন
নাই হোৱা এইটো পিতলৰ চাগে এইটো পিতলৰ হয় ওপৰলৈ ধোঁৱাটো যায় চাগে একদম চিমনি টাইপৰ একদম ওপৰত গৈ লাগে চাগে কেচেলৰ ভিতৰত গৈ আছোঁ আমি এতিয়া আমি য়লহোম কেচেলৰ ভিতৰত অলপ পাছত আমাৰ গাইডেড টুৰ কৰাব মানে বহুত ডাঙৰ হয় ন
Yes, we're missing you. If you go upstairs, we're going to start the guided tour just in a moment.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Franco was the dictator. Yeah, because I
চিষ্টেমে বেলেগ দেখোন এইবিলাক দেখিছে নাই কেনেকৈ লগাই লগাই আহিছে Yes, we are here. ৰাজমহল ৰাজপ্ৰাসাদত নহয় আহিছে
I'm going to guide you around here for the next hour. Now, have any one of you been here before? No. Some of you. Have you been on a guided tour? Yes. Yes, okay. So, yeah. I've actually this year only made 2 guided tours where no one has been here before. So, returning visitors, that's very common here. We're happy about that. But you're all welcome, of course. Now, if you haven't been here, this place is, well, it might be a disappointment because if you were expecting a Swedish castle, you're in the wrong place. This is a British castle, both outside and inside. We have absolutely nothing typical Swedish here. And there's a reason for that, of course. The family who built this place originally came from Scotland.
Oh.
And when they built this house, they wanted to sort of celebrate their background and their heritage. But they were 3rd generation living in Sweden. The family had been living here for almost 100 years when they built this place. So they could have built a Swedish house, but they chose not to. Especially Mrs. Dixon. So this place was planned by a married couple, Mr. and Mrs. Dixon. But they were also cousins. So they are both from this same family, the Dixon family. They were based in the Gothenburg area and had been around for about 100 years. Especially Mrs. Dixon was very interested in trends. She was a very trendy woman. She wanted everything that was modern, the latest, and so on. And British things were very much in fashion like this. They created a contest for architects, and they put in ads in all the big Swedish newspapers about this contest. They hired really well-known people to be the judges, real celebrities in this contest, and also donated a large sum of money that would go to the winner. So, all in all, everyone was talking about this. It became a really well-known phenomenon in Sweden. Everyone was talking about Dixon's new house on the West Coast. So they could sort of put check in that little box. Did you have the time to look around a little at the ground floor first, or bottom floor? It's not really the same style at all, is it? This is very much a feminine room, definitely. This is quite typical Victorian. They decorated a lot of the house in art and craft style, but this is not an art and craft room. This is more. Then we have wallpaper, and on top we have a thing called frieze. It's molded plaster. This is typical Victorian. Also the chandeliers, crystal chandeliers, very Victorian in style. Not to mention this floor lamp. I don't know exactly what happened because the family really thought it was absolutely nothing. It was nothing worth mentioning in any letter or diary anywhere, so we don't know what happened. But he probably cut his hand on glass, so he got a cut. And he went to hospital the day after to get stitches, and they probably, sewed the bacteria properly in. So of course he got sepsis. But he thought this wound was healing. He was feeling pretty good for a couple of weeks back home. But suddenly he got a really, really high fever and had to go back to hospital again. And there they realized that he had sepsis. And Mrs. Dixon actually wrote in a diary, "They operated on my dear husband." We don't know. What does she mean? But they probably made an amputation. They took his arm off. because that was the only medicine they had against sepsis back then. This was way before penicillin.
আৰু এই কেৰেক্টাৰ্ছবিলাক
And also the
শ্বেক্সপিয়াৰ
green
নাটকৰ আৰ্হিত
colorway, I
বনোৱা
think,
কেৰেক্টাৰ্ছ হয়
reminds,
গোটেইখিনি
us of a
গোটেইবিলাকে
forest,
আছে
because these
আৰু
trees-
তেওঁলোকে জনোৱা মতে তেওঁলোকে শ্বেক্সপিয়াৰ ড্ৰামা উপভোগ কৰিছিলে তেতিয়া
We also have the nice stairs here. You can see a nice staircase. And it doesn't actually house. So they just turn it into a small storage area with a very nice staircase.
এইখিনিতে এটা কথা কওঁ এইটো দেখিছে যে তলত এইটো বাথ টাব বনাইছিলে ৱেল ডিজাইন কৰি আৰু লগতে এইটো শ্বাৱাৰ মানে গা ধুবৰ কাৰণে চব ফালৰ পৰা পানী ওলায় তলফালৰ পৰা পানী ওপৰ ফালৰ বাবে বহুত বেলেগ ডিজাইনকৈ বনাইছে মানে বহুত ইউনিক আছিলে ষ্টাইলটো
And our part of the family, you could say, starts with this man, James Dixon. He was born 1748 in Scotland. He lived in a small town called Montrose. And he had 13 children. And you can see 3 of his children here. And the 2 guys in the middle, they moved from Scotland to Gothenburg around 1810. And they did that because they wanted to become rich. And this was not a thing that they invented themselves. Quite a lot of families from Scotland, from this small area in Scotland, sent a few sons, 1, 2, maybe 3. They came from Scotland originally. The Carnegie family, the Erskine family, the Dixon family, the Caleb family, and so on. There's a long list who have left, huge impressions to London, and together they started a company working with import and export between London and Gothenburg. In England, basically. That was the center of the world's economy back then. And it just exploded. Millions and millions, at least thousands and thousands of families got incredibly rich during this time period, especially in England. And there was suddenly a lot of money floating around in society. Imported thing from Sweden? Wood, yeah. And it was back then too. It's called pit props.
মানে এইখিনি লাক্সাৰিজ মানে পৰা ব্ৰিটিছ লাক্সাৰি
ইলেক্ট্ৰিক ফিটিংছ দেখিছা নাই
লণ্ডন
1904
1904 চন
1904
তেতিয়া 20 লৈকে নাম্বাৰ্ছ আছিলে দেখিছা নাই
এই লিটাৰখন বহুত পুৰণা